So now that we've been looking at inequalities and we know how to take an inequality and graph it, we're going to look at how we solve for our inequality. And we're going to look at one-step addition and subtraction inequalities. And our steps are going to be the same. So in order to find out what my x value can be here, we do want to draw our line down the equal sign. And the opposite of a negative, or change all that subtraction to addition. And so we have x plus negative 15 is greater than negative 12. And so to get that negative 15 to the other side, or to get rid of it, we need to make sure that we add 15 to both sides. And whatever we do to one side, we do to the other, and this becomes 0. So we still have an x on the left-hand side because opposites equal 0. And don't forget, it's not an equal sign in between these. It is a inequality symbol, and this one is greater than. So I have x is greater than, and negative 12 plus 15 is a positive 3. So here you have solved it. We know that any number that is greater than 3 will make this true. That's what it means. X is greater than a positive 3. So let's talk about how we're going to graph this, which you practiced in the last one. Let's go ahead and we're going to put that 3. And remember that I like to put one number on each side. So 1 less than 3 would be a 2. 1 greater than 3 would be a 4. And we have to remember if we have an open or closed circle, and this one here is going to be open because it's greater than. It does not have the equal to sign. And if x is greater than 3, well, you tell me which numbers are greater than 3. Is 2 greater than 3? Or is 4 greater than 3? And we know the 4 is. And so we're going to shade towards the 4. And that means all the numbers to the right of the 3 there that are greater than 3 will make this inequality true. And we very easily can go through a check. And how would I check that? Well, I would pick a number that is to the right of 3. So you can pick any number that's to the right of 3. I'm just going to pick the number 4. And I'm going to put that back into the original problem where it says 4 minus 15. I put 4 in for x. Subtract 15 is greater than a negative 12. And if I look at my math here, 4 minus 15 is a negative 11. And is that greater than a negative 12? Yes, check, it works. And so you did shade the correct direction. So when we go through and solve our one-step addition and subtraction inequalities, you're going to notice, or I hope you've noticed, the steps are just like solving equations. Let's look at one more example. Here, we're going to draw our line. We have a plus 6, positive 6. And so we know that to get rid of a positive 6, the inverse is a subtract 6. And whatever we do to one side of my inequality, we do to the other. And we did this because this becomes a big old 0, opposites equal 0. And I have a t is greater than or equal to, and a negative 4 take away 6 is a negative 10. So we have solved for t. We got the inequality all by itself, the letter, the t by itself. We're going to graph it. Put that number negative 10 right in the middle. Now this is where we have to be careful. Think of what the number line looks like. 1 less than negative 10 is a negative 11. And 1 greater than negative 10 that would go to the right is a negative 9. Google a number line if you need to. Okay, we should not get those mistaken. Now, it was greater than or equal to. We need to be careful with this because of the equal to symbol, greater than or equal to. It means we are going to have a closed dot on the -10. And it's saying that our letter T is greater than or equal to -10. Well, which value? We remember the one to the left is less than, the one to the right is greater than. So T is greater than -10. We're going to have to shade to the right where the greater numbers are. So we know that -9 and -8 and -7, those would all be values that would make this inequality true. So the last thing, we could summarize this, okay? The essential question was, how do I add and subtract to solve inequalities? Okay, talk to me about if you think they're the same or different in regards to solving equations. And I think we can all agree that when I solve equations or inequalities, that only have addition or subtraction, because that's all we've looked at, the steps are the exact same. So if we are solving inequalities or equations and we only have addition or subtraction, our steps are the same. So really just more practice in solving addition, subtraction problems. Be careful, the most common mistake is the inequality symbol. Students like to put an equal sign because you just got done with an entire chapter on equations. Make sure you put the correct inequality sign. That's it.